Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report. Coming up here on today's show, we have some trending Raiders rumors to discuss. Isaiah Wynn, could he potentially be coming to Las Vegas? And The Athletic linked 4 free agent cornerbacks to the Raiders. I'll tell you who those 4 players are and which one I want the most. Now, if you don't already know, Raider Nation is a family here, and I want you to join the fam. Hell, we are 20 subs away from 137,000. So if you're a real one and you bleed silver and black, then I know you'll subscribe and join the Raiders Report family. Let's talk about the story here with Isaiah Wynn. Last Word on Sports released an article, and it was trying to predict where some of the top landing spots were for some of the free agents that are still on the market after the 2023 NFL Draft. They said that Wynn is a fit with the Raiders, and I would reply with that as doy. At any point, if you have some sort of connection with McDaniels and Ziegler, you're a fit. Wynn has mainly played left tackle and did play right tackle last season. He was a first-round pick out of Georgia for the New England Patriots in 2018. So therefore, you know that McDaniels and Ziegler have worked with them, and it has worked out, well, pretty well before last season when both of those guys left for the Raiders. In terms of the top destinations, according to the Last Word on Sports, Las Vegas Raiders, the Tennessee Titans, and the New Orleans Saints. If I was a betting man and I said, okay, which team is the most likely to make the move for Wynn, I would probably say the Raiders, but that is more just simply based off of the McDaniels and Ziegler connection. However, if you were to say, okay, which team out of those 3 actually makes the most sense for him, I'd probably go with the Tennessee Titans as a potential Taylor Lewan replacement. However, last season, 9 games, 4 sacks allowed. He's had some serious injury problems and has been a headache, which a lot of Patriot fans will tell you. And I'd probably just say, man, I can't do another former Patriots right tackle headache. That would be bad for my mental health. It would even be bad for my personal health. Though I don't think I would dislike Isaiah Wynn more than I dislike, still to this day, Trent Brown. In terms of snaps last season, he had 20 at left tackle, so 5%, 60 at left guard, 14%, and then at right tackle, 81%, 343. My question to all of you out there is this, because the Raiders Report is a show that I want to have interaction around, okay? I like things where I can sit down, I can have a discussion. That has been my entire life and my entire family. Hell, if you can't talk sports, you're going to be in the corner of my family reunions. And guess what? I was always in the middle of it. So I want you to be the GM. Be Dave Ziegler here. Should the Raiders go out and sign Isaiah Wynn? Type S for sign, or I want you to type P for pass. You're about to get hit with a YouTube ad break, so you might as well scroll on down anyway and answer my question. My answer is no. The Raiders should not go out and sign Isaiah Wynn. He was bad at right tackle last season. And guess what? The only spot that you're going to play him on this Raiders offensive line is right tackle, unless you want to roll the dice and throw him out at right guard at a position that he has never played, which I'm sorry, I do not want to do. Isaiah Wynn is not better than Colton Miller. I get it. You go back and you look at some other years with Wynn and Carmen Brasillo, I will still take Colton Miller every single day of the week because Colton Miller is dependable. Last season, according to PFF, Wynn's stats in 423 snaps, an overall grade of 54.6, which is below average, a pass blocking grade of 52.8, which is below average, and then a run blocking grade of 63.2, which I'd probably say is pretty average. His stats, and again, only 423 snaps, 9 penalties. You want to talk about brain farts? You might be able to smell it from here because that's how many Wynn had last season. 4 sacks allowed, 2 hits, 17 pressures. This Raiders team does not need an injury-prone tackle coming off the worst season of his career. He struggled with the injuries, and I really do think that he is just a left tackle. The footwork's different. Far too often, coaches think, okay, if he played left tackle, why can't he play right tackle? The footwork is so much different. I will admit, if I was Isaiah Wynn, I'd say, okay, the only team in the NFL that I'd be willing to take less money for is the Las Vegas Raiders, and 2 reasons. 1, no taxes. The other reason, when I was at a premier level, like a legit one of the top left tackles in the league, it was with Carmen Brasillo. who now is the offensive line coach for the Raiders. The other thing is this. Where exactly are you going to put him? Because to me, he's not going to take a cheap deal. He won't do it. I'm telling you right now, Isaiah Wynn's not going to take a cheap deal. I think Jermaine Illuminor is better than Isaiah Wynn. I believe Colton Miller is better than Isaiah Wynn. Now, you can definitely persuade me getting Wynn as a backup, but Wynn doesn't want to be a backup when I really, truly believe a year ago, he thought he was going to be a big-time cashing-in type of dude, $10 million plus. That ain't happening anymore. So when you look at Wynn, they put him at right tackle, which that's on the coaching staff. I'll admit that. That is on New England staff. When he was playing predominantly left tackle, you can look at these numbers here. He was a legit tackle in the NFL. Now, maybe that's a tip to the cap to Carmen Brasillo. Maybe that's a tip to the cap to Josh McDaniels' system and getting the ball out quickly. I'll admit, the Patriots' offense last season was just a joke led by Matt Patricia. That is a big problem, and I will give Wynn some credit. But I'm not going to pay him a lot of money when I don't think tackle right now is a need for this team. Coming up next here on the Raiders Report, we got 4 corners that are linked to the Las Vegas Raiders. The Athletic released an article, and it was about big-time needs. And they said in this article that all 4 of the corners that I'm about to talk about could potentially sign with the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, before I get into that, hey, if you haven't already gotten your hands on McDaniels Eats Corn the Long Way shirt, get your hands on them. Right now, they are going quickly. Link's going to be available for you guys down in the comments and in the description of today's show. It's chatsports.com/con. Let's go to now the Raiders signing a cornerback in the latest around this. So there was, an article from The Athletic titled, NFL Team Needs, What Holes Remain for All 32 Teams After the Draft. The Athletic said that the biggest team need for McDaniels and Ziegler's crew was the cornerback position. Ziegler also last Friday after the draft, in terms of the first round, or I guess I should say after day 1 and day 2, said that they were okay not taking a cornerback because the free agent cornerback class is so deep. In fact, this is exactly what Ziegler had to say. Dave Ziegler, this is what The Athletic had to say about the Raiders' biggest needs, my bad. Dave Ziegler tried to calm worried Raiders fans down, saying there are a lot of talented corners still on the free agent market. The Raiders woke up Saturday morning and traded up for Jakorian Bennett in the 4th round, but he doesn't project as a starter this season unless he takes training camp by storm. So here's my question out there. Is the Raiders' biggest need the cornerback position? It's obviously an important need. At one point, I could probably just say, what's the biggest need? And y'all would have typed defense. But I think now we've made a few other adjustments through the draft. Shout out to Tyree Wilson. Give me a yes. Give me a no. Is corner the biggest need for the Silver and Black? To me, there's 2 big needs still. Linebacker is a glaring need. And yes, cornerback is still a big-time need. Why? Because you have a lot of question marks. Am I confident in the Raiders cornerbacks like that some people might not talk about? Duke Shelley's going to be a dog. I'm telling y'all that right now. The Raiders want to run press man. That's what Duke Shelley can do. People might say, Mitch, he's undersized. I don't care. Dude can play. However, then, David Long Jr., where exactly does he fit? The Raiders love Tyler Hall, but you still need, I would say, another cornerback that puts Raider fans at a little bit of an ease. However, at the linebacker spot, if the Raiders plan on running a 4-3 defense and you're going to have 3 linebackers out there, good luck. Because this might be the worst linebacking unit in the NFL. If you want to run with a 4-2-5 and only 2 linebackers are out there, where you got Robert Spillane rocking the green dot, Divine Diablo, maybe he could be a little bit better. You need, though, to me, to add at least 1 more linebacker, because I'm sorry, I don't have a lot of confidence in this room right now. So here were the 4 Raiders cornerback targets that the Athletic said that the Raiders should go out and get. Shaquille Griffin, Bryce Callahan, Marcus Peters, and Rock Ya-Sin. So with that being said, if you had to pick 1 cornerback to sign, who would you pick? Would you go with Griffin type SG, Bryce Callahan type BC, Marcus Peters type MP, Rock Ya-Sin type RYS? I'm going to let you know my top 4 and how I have these ranked after this break. My top cornerbacks to sign, number one is going to be Rocky Ya-Sin, and I have said for a long time that this would be a guy that I want. And he's a player that I know that the Raiders, there's some mutual interest in there. However, there's going to be other teams that are continually interested in going out and getting somebody who's as physical as Rocky Ya-Sin. Well, literally, as I am recording this video, just so you all know, Rocky Ya-Sin has just signed a 1-year, $6 million deal with the Baltimore Ravens. So guess what? You might as well cross him off this list of joining the Raiders. So that means let's go to the other three names. I'm going to look at Shaq Griffin. Shaquille's one of those players where I liked him a lot in Seattle, struggled in Jacksonville, and to me it just was not a good fit, battled some injuries as well. If you want to turn on the tape around Shaquille Griffin when he was with the Seattle Seahawks back in 2021. And one of the biggest reasons why he got paid the way he did is because he's a good physical corner, which is what the Raiders need. Coming in here at number 3, it's Marcus Peters. And there's going to be a lot of fans out there that want Peters because he's a Raider at heart, right? Grew up a Raider fan from California, told Graphic Raider and on this show that he wanted to go back to the Raiders. The problem is he's coming off his worst season as a professional, and it's not even close. 47 tackles, an interception, and 6 PBUs. Some of y'all might look at that and be like, that's not that bad. He allowed the highest passer rating of his career, well over 100. And I mean well over 100. He's getting up there in age. He's always been able to force turnovers. And if you're looking for a veteran that might be able to put some guys underneath his wing, I'll tell you this. I think even if you went out and got Peters, I don't know if he would be a lock to start. People would think he'd be a lock to start, but I honestly, in my heart of hearts, don't know if he'd be able to start on this defense at corner right now. The final name is this, Bryce Callahan. The reason why I'm a little bit hesitant about Callahan is because if there's one thing that the Raiders have, it's cornerbacks on the outside under 6 feet tall. Callahan, to me, is another undersized corner, and I would want the Raiders to add a little bit of length giggity to that cornerback room. He has played in the AFC West. He has had some versatile seasons, which is the key word if you're looking at Raiders defense right now. 47 tackles, 3 INTs, 6 BBUs. Raiders have now 3 cornerbacks to go out and get in free agency. McDaniels, Ziegler, you better wake the hell up because this defense has still got a long way to go. Before I leave you all today, I do want to tell you that we got a special Thursday live show. For those that do not know, we're going to do our normal, Thursday Raiders rumors, Raiders mailbag. We're going to get you a segment, Jeremy Chuggs and I. And then at halftime of the Lakers and Warriors game, I'm not shitting you, we're about to eat corn the long way. That's going to be your halftime show. Chuggs has got 4 ears of corn, right? It's ears of corn out there. We're going to cook them up, and we are going to do our best to eat them the long way. I'll tell you this, if you don't tune into our Lakers and Warriors watch party on Thursday, chances are you eat corn the long way.